Bonjour everyone, Pantoufleee here today for a new video in which we're going to talk about Rush Hour, the brand new event that will allow you to get a free tier 6 premium and probably one of the best. But before jumping into details, I just want to point out one frame of the video Wargaming did for the announcement, because in this video that you're currently seeing, we have a big duck, a spaceship duck. I know that it's a reference to a previous event that we had the pleasure to play on maybe 3 or 4 years ago, but maybe that it's also a teasing for the mod coming back, who knows? Just in case you didn't know, I'm talking about what you're currently seeing on screen, just a whole fun event in which we had the pleasure of playing different kind of ducks that did different kind of damage, pretty much one duck per class, and even if it was not the most intense battle ever, it was a nice change. And talking about changes, let me introduce you to the brand new event, Rush Hour. So basically, nothing really hard. You need to hit the XP bonuses you have on pretty much all your tanks in the garage. Every time you hit one of those, you get 2 of the currency, so that is called pins. And I guess you need to gather enough pins in order for you to access the rewards of your choice. But that's not all, because once you manage to get yourself the Cromwell Berlin, which is overall the main prize for this event, you will need to play the Cromwell B and the Cromwell B alone, because every time you get an ace tanker, you will be able to unlock brand new crates. Those crates, totally free if you play well enough, will get you a guaranteed premium reward, and there are 2 of them that you can acquire, which means that in total with this event, if you have enough time and enough skill, you will get yourself 3 premiums minimum. But let's be honest, the problem with the Cromwell Berlin is that it's a really good tank, which means that it's going to be quite a struggle for you to be able to do an ace tanker with it. And of course, as the Cromwell Berlin is the main reward, I need to give you 1 or 2 tips on how to play it correctly in order for you to get enough ace tankers to claim the mighty crates. You have 2 major advantages using the Cromwell Berlin. The first being the gun depression and the second being the mobility. So what you want to do is trying to combine the both of them. Usually, if you manage to combine both, you will get an ace tanker guaranteed. And it's exactly what's going to happen during this game. But before we jump directly into it, I would like to express myself on the Rush Hour event. In my opinion, that's a great idea from Wargaming not to give a bad tank at all, because the Cromwell Berlin, as I already mentioned, is among the greatest tanks you can find at tier 6. So I thought, why is Wargaming gifting such a nice tank? And after thinking about it, I thought that it was logical, because giving away this tank is going to satisfy both types of player base. On one hand, we have the extremely skilled players that are going to be able to do something with the tank, which is not going to be the case of the other vast majority of players, which are the regular new player, newbies, call them whatever you want, because those guys will not effectively play correctly the Cromwell Berlin for one simple reason. The Cromwell Berlin requires map knowledge, some tactic knowledge, and most importantly, knowing everything about hull down, side scrape, knowing which tanks to fight, which positions to take, etc, etc. And all of those informations, you can't just get them in your brain like a snap. No. You need to play the game regularly, not since launch, but at least play it enough for you to be experimented. And this is why, in my opinion, Wargaming gave this tank away, because it's a gift to everyone. The skilled players that will make something out of the tank, and the regular players that will just see it as an average tank and nothing else. And now, going back to the replay, I want to show you exactly what you're supposed to do with the Cromwell Berlin through this little timestamp. You're going to see for 1 minute or 1.5 minutes how I'm playing my tank. You have one of the few tanks here that actually has 12 degrees of gun depression. And just take a look at how easy it becomes for you to snap shells if you are in the perfect position. From the position I took, it's extremely difficult for the Annihilator to be able to snap any shells on me, because the probability of hitting the top of my turret is quite low. And I think that this is why the Annihilator is not bothering with me for the best, because of course, even if they're not bothering with you, you still have the fear of someone actually penetrating your turret, because I want to recap, you do not have any armor, which means that obviously with such a tank you are not gonna be able to brawl or anything like that. So it's preferable for you that the opponents are taking a look or focusing on your lies rather than you. It was what happened with the Annihilator, but against the VK it seems like it's no longer the case. Not a problem, we're gonna snap a couple of shells still on that boy, because after all he's in the middle of nowhere, but we need to shot fast. You saw what I did on the last shell that went on the VK. I shot without even bothering aiming or anything and came back to my position, a safe position from which no one could penetrate me. It's the kind of things you need to do with the Wotb, because otherwise you're gonna get penetrated and lose your hit points unwisely. That being said, I think that now you have all the keys needed for you to play correctly the Berlin. Trust me, it's an amazing tank, and even if you don't like it, I encourage you to sell it, because, well, you're still gonna have probably 1 million out of the tank, and everyone loves to get 1 million credits, even if for such a tank it would be a shame to sell it for such a low price. And you get it, ace tanker straight in the pocket. Thank you team, and most importantly, thank you enemies for not taking a look at me. And to finish this video, I would just like to tell you one last thing for those of you that think that the Hellcat is the best tier 6 tank out there. First, I totally agree with you, but at the same time, one of the few tanks that can effectively compete with the Hellcat would be probably the Berlin, at least in terms of mobility. So yes, if you do have the Hellcat, maybe that it's not necessarily a good opportunity for you to bother with the Berlin, but it's a nice alternative, and after all, it's a premium, whereas the Hellcat, at first when it's not enriched, is a regular Tech 3 tank, so nothing really worth playing when you want some credits. Hopefully you enjoyed. If that's the case, feel free to subscribe, like and share, and personally I'm gonna see you soon for a new video. Bye!